Too. Yeah, born in Oz, yo,
Did you really start it?
yo. Hmm?
Did you really start it?
You see, that's me.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Mm-hmm. It's been your favorite streamer and or least favorite streamer. Today we're going to do Paul Morphy, but don't tell my wife. Actually, we're just going to look at his games. If I actually wanted to do Paul Morphy, I'd have to go to New Orleans, I think. Yeah. He's dead and rather pungent. Dragon drink. I want to play the Dragon Sicilian, so I'm doing some prep. All right, 0 viewers. It's still the most I ever had. Actually, I tied a record yesterday of all streamers. I got $0 in donations. That's pretty good. That's why I stream. So I can get no donations. Yay. That's why I'm everybody's favorite streamer. They save a lot of money. I mean, I've refreshed 3 times and it says I have 0 viewers. Pretty sure I have more than 0. Slightly more, slightly. Alright, it says I have 7. That's probably closer to accurate. Either that or it's closer to fine. What's this big thing here? Prime subscription and loot reminder. What's loot reminder mean? Huh. I don't get it. It's Ben. Right. Also, it's Pat. So we're having the last round of the month long today. It started with 4 games, and now there's 2 games left. And all the players have about 5 minutes left. They're in time trouble. The round started at 7, and then it's game in 75 with a 5-second delay. It's Karen. So there you go. 35 viewers, that's even more. If I get another 1,000 viewers, I'll catch up to Gold Dust Tory. I don't think I've ever had over 1,000 viewers. Let's see, let's move this over so I can see it. Can't really see. Can move this over too. Yeah, there we go. Alonso is way better than Paul. Well, Alonso was Paul's dad, and I said I was going to look at Morphy games, but I didn't say which one. So there's another Morphy too, Ernest Morphy. It was important to be him. I was in the Morphy house in New Orleans. There's some bug flying in here. I blame Karen. It's like a flying ant. Oh, and wait a minute, that's my uncle. Never mind. Let's see. I was at the Morphy house. Old money. That's the way to do it. Fisher is the best, right? Yeah, sure. Sound is incredibly low. No, sounds normal. You need to turn the volume up on your computer. Somebody explain that to him. I'm just talking quieter than I usually do because they're playing a tournament behind me. So, yeah. I cannot put the engine on screen, but you can turn on your engine. Andrew8281 subscribed. Hooray! Why don't I hear a noise? Oh, the speakers are at 2%. That's a good reason. All right. I didn't hear like da-da-da or whatever it does. Yeah, today with Archer, we saw the Spider-Man movie where Spider-Man goes on vacation to Europe. Very suspicious movie. This bug should stop flying. The bug likes the light. I can't kill the bug because I'm vegan, so the bug can kill me. Hooray! Yeah. Remember, if the sound is low, you need to turn up the volume on your computer, and then the sound won't be low. There you go. Yeah. That's right. Well, you should turn the sound up, and then everything's fine. Yeah. You'd think you guys would know how to turn the sound on your computer. It's weird. Very strange. Maybe not. Maybe you don't know how to turn the sound on your computer. I don't know. I can't really expect you guys to, know how to do any of that, I guess. Anyway, yeah, if you can't hear, you should either turn the sound up on your computer or you should leave. I recommend leaving because I don't think you guys know how to turn the sound up on your computer. That's what it seems like. let's see. What am I doing? Doing something. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Nah, it's too loud. No. It's too loud. No. Let's see. Minimize. Yeah. Plus or minus? Go Ben. That's me. Yeah. Maximum volume. Well, you need a new computer. I don't know. Anyway, hey everyone. It's everybody. Hooray for everybody. Plus tax. Normally I can go to the sound settings like easier than I can do it. I don't know. Not going the way I usually go. Normally I speak a lot louder than I am now, but as I said, there's people playing chess behind me. Yeah. Let's see. This isn't usually where it goes. Confusing. Let's see. Testing. Manage sound devices. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, bye. See you, Henry T. Great. Did you see Anand's blunder versus Dubois? Which one? Too many blunders. All right, so it's 9:30 exactly. So for the people who know how to turn the sound up on their computer, we can start with the Morphy games. Subtitles should be on. Yeah. All right. Remember, if you have trouble with the stream, you should watch other people's streams because then you can be bored out of your mind. All right. So yeah, I know. No, I know the sound is fine. Yeah. People have trouble with their computers, so they blame somebody else. All right. So are all the games done?
Not yet.
But you have the door open. So this is the game Morphy versus Morphy. And actually, this isn't well known, but they made a movie based on this game starring Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep. It's weird. Oh. It's your boy. Yeah. Yeah, I did get a haircut today. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Now, this game was played when Paul was 10 years old and Alonso is his dad. So he played E4, recommended by Fisher, F4, recommended by Morphy, and he played Bishop C4. Now, Spencer actually lectured yesterday on this great player of the past, and this particular player played Bishop C4 when the King's Indian was essayed. Which player was this? Which player did Spencer lecture on who likes to play Bishop C4? Does anybody know? It wasn't Morphy. Texas Chess is correct. It's Judah Polgar. And she played Bishop C4 against me. I checkmated her. Okay, and I don't like the next move for black, which probably was the most common. I don't know if it's the most common now. It might be. Queen H4 check. It's not a good square for the queen. King F1. And then we get to gain a tempo on the queen later. So Bishop C5 is definitely a mistake because it allows D4. That's just silly. And obviously White has an excellent game now. Black's play is sort of silly. Okay, but this was, 1849, so I'll give him a break. Andre Florian, that's a person. Yeah. Okay, knight F6, attacking the E-pawn. E5 would be a good move. Morphy played queen D3. And remember, Morphy's 10 years old this game. E5 isn't good. D6 is good. Rook e1. Morphy moved all of his pieces. I don't know which Morphy, but it was one of them. Okay, then Rook e8 is a mistake because you weaken this diagonal and the f7 pawn in particular. And let's see if the audience is well versed in chess understanding. They obviously don't know how to turn on the volume of their computers, but maybe you can play chess. You can play knight e5 or knight g5, and both moves attack the f pawn. Which move is better and why? We'll let 10-year-old Morphy show you. But let's see in the chat. Bishop at c4 is okay. I don't think queen h4 is the right move. Probably knight f6 is. Maybe d5. Yeah, g5 is better. I don't think because of the rook issue. I think because it makes bishop e6 untenable, whereas after knight e5, you could play bishop e6 and stop the f7 threat. So Morphy did play knight g5, correct? Takes. Morphy took with the king. Queen e8 check isn't very good. Bishop e6. Morphy got his last piece into the attack. And just by making simple moves, Morphy is just completely winning against Morphy. All right, now we're going to vote again. You can vote for bishop takes e6, knight takes e6, or rook takes e6. Morphy played the best one. Shocking. So which one do you vote for? I didn't fix the sound. I didn't do anything. What? I thought you left. Can somebody ban him? What? If you can't hear, you're banned. Get a hearing aid, then come back. King takes e6. Bishop, not bishop. What? The rest of the stream will be done in sign language because you guys can't hear. I'll get louder as the stream goes on when the games have finished in the other room. I don't have the best brain. What kind of brain do you have? Do you have the brain from Young Frankenstein, the Abby Normal brain? No, I know you can hear me perfectly. Okay, so the correct answer is knight takes e6, although I'm sure the other moves win. The reason is, after you recapture, rook takes e6 is annoying because you're threatening rook takes queen checkmate. And if the queen moves to one of these squares that I highlighted, rook e8 is checkmate because it's double check. So the engine plays king h8, but Alonso Morphy chose a better move by resigning. Mr. David L. Ross resigned, subscribed. Thanks for the resignation and subscription. So here, the Alonso Morphy resigned. So even though Morphy never lost, here's an instance of him losing because it's the wrong Morphy. Yeah, and then after the game, many observers believe Paul said to his dad, "Who's your daddy?" So that was a pretty good game from a 10-year-old in 1849. Most 10-year-olds in 1849, died in childbirth. So it's pretty good to be a good chess player. Yeah. Okay, so he resigned. Yeah, the engine says 9.5 after king h8. Second best move is to give the queen away. Games are done?
There's one game.
Oh.
Kaya and...
What happened in Jill's game?
I don't know, she's back there.
Yes, no, she lost, of course. Now, it turns out, I didn't know this, but what do I know? Born in Oz donated 500 centidues. Tomato burger, hopefully it's a vegan burger, but not in Mississippi. Subscribed, thank you. Now, I know this guy Le Carpentier played Paul Morphy a lot, but I didn't realize that Le Carpentier was his uncle. It was his mother's brother. It was his brother from another mother or something. Anyway, and he played him several games. This game was with rook odds because you'll notice there's no rook on A1. Okay, so he spotted him a rook, and this game was played when Morphy was 11. Are you guys having a tournament tomorrow? Tomorrow is Thursday, so no, we're closed Thursday. String Dog gifted a tier 1 sub to the Mad Queen Rant. Thank you. Thanks, String Dog. No, we're closed Thursday. We have a Friday night Blitz tournament every Friday. And this Saturday, our one-day tournament is also a Blitz tournament with huge prizes. Collinear is the answer to Jazz Guy Thomas. I want to thank Morning Oz again. I was pointing out to the people that were here, which was very few, that when I streamed last night, I got $0 in donations. So that's unfortunate because I quit teaching chess so I could stream full time. So salary 0. All right. Still better than I expected. Yeah, collinear. Yeah. I don't call it that. That's what John Nunn calls it. I just stole it. Game blouses. You know where you got that shirt. And it sure as hell wasn't in the men's department. But man, Prince Cabal. Challenge him. I dare you. Do it. Hello to New Zealand. My apologies. You'll be hearing from Marianne Williamson soon. Break down some of the games you played against Johannes Zuckertort. That's how you spell Zuckertort? Yeah. $0.00. Correct. Trying to learn gifted a sub to Gold Dust Tori. Gold Dust Tori has 1,200 people in her stream. She gifted me a sub to her. When you spot a rook, which one is easier? What? Turn your volume up. I can't understand you. Yeah. Purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. That's true. Pancakes. Carlson can beat Morphy without a queen, but which Morphy? Well, probably all the Morphys now because he's probably not alive. Wow, it's my first donation in like 48 hours. So confused. $9.99. At least you won't get $0 tonight. Yay, R.A. Kelly. My favorite R. Kelly. Thank you, sir. All the games are done?
Still one going. Looks like Kai's going to win, I think.
Yeah, Kai is too good.
And Jill lost.
Yeah, I got my first donation in 48 hours.
Oh.
R.A. Kelly.
Yay.
Yeah.
We can always depend on him.
Well, I was getting upset because in the chat he said he wanted to piss on me, but it turned out that I was the wrong R. Kelly. So I was sorry. Yeah. Anybody? No. Oh, it's funny. There was a meme from somebody I've never heard of, a Gad Mator, I don't know. And he said, his meme was, Carlson hasn't lost a game in a year. And then Capablanca next to him saying something funny like, oh, really? I don't know what you're doing. You're getting rid of my internet.
Oh, did I do it?
You're knocking this cord out somehow.
Sorry.
Anyway, as you all know, Morphy, Capablanca didn't lose a game for many years. Okay. Also, my daughter, who's USCF rated, she hasn't lost a rated game in like 11 years. So, yeah. And my mom is also USCF rated. She hasn't lost a game in over 50 years. So I'm not sure Carlson's record is, if it makes a lot of sense there. Yeah. Trying to Learn points out Morphy hasn't lost a game in over 100 years. So, yeah, I don't know why you guys think Carlson's good. Anyway, thanks for Trying to Learn for setting up the pre-thing that he stole from Karen. And for more stuff that he's doing. Yeah. Did you see your cameo in String Dog's video? Now, when you start the sentence with, hey, Ben, did you? The answer is no. Okay? No, I haven't. If you said, did you see the Spider-Man movie today, then you're correct. But that would be about it. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, this is Morphy against his uncle. And what did Morphy make his uncle say when the game ended?
Mercy.
First guy in the chat got it right. Uncle. It was his uncle. I made him say uncle. Mercy. What? What? Yeah. All right. Yeah, well, Carpentier is winning in this position. Yeah. I have seen the video. All right. Yeah, I saw it. I don't know. Are you keeping up with the vegan diet? What? It's not a diet. I'm vegan. Get me ice cream. Even my wallet's vegan. I can't eat my wallet. You're the best. Not the way you spell your. Well, maybe. Did you catch the LMS game today with your favorite player, Zlatan Ibrahimovic? He didn't write Ibrahimovic, but that's what I assume he was talking about. I did not. I was very busy today. But I assume Zlatan did great, just great. Let's ask Karen what country Zlatan Ibrahimovic is from. I'll give you a hint. Name a country you would never think a man named Zlatan Ibrahimovic is from. That's the answer. Make sure there's nobody with that name from that country, then you're right.
I don't know. Azerbaijan?
No, there could be a Zlatan Ibrahimovic there. It's to make the least likely country guess, then they're right.
I don't know.
Sweden.
Oh.
Why is a guy with a Serbian and Croatian name from Sweden? What's wrong with him? All right. Anyway, he was kicked out of the country due to a presidential decree of Donald Trump. So hard to understand. See, I like Trump's wall idea because on The Simpsons, when they wanted to build a wall, they didn't want to build it because that would be hard work. So they got the foreigners to build it that they were kicking out. Then when the foreigners built the wall, they kicked them on their side of the wall. And then they were like, we miss you. So they opened a door in the wall. And they all came back. Yay, you're back. The end. That's how the wall works. There's a bug flying here. See him? See? He keeps flying to the light and then being mad. See right here.
I can see him somewhere.
Yeah. He's flying and hitting the light and then falling down. He keeps trying like that bird that flies into our window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's a moth.
No. Look at him. Well, that's like a weirdo bug. Yeah. He's called a weirdo bug. That's the official name on the internet. He's actually on the light, and his favorite movie is The Blues Brothers, and he's thank God I have seen the light, and then he does all these flips. Snake Oil Scrub, subscribe. Thanks, Ben. What did I do? Boris Alterman built a wall against the computer and it worked. Alterman, here he comes, he won't resign. Alterman. That's Karen's favorite TV show that she's never heard of, right? Ultraman, never heard of it? Mm-hmm. Ultraman would fight, and then he'd be like, oh man, I'm out of energy. Then he'd fly away, get more energy, and come back. Yeah, good cartoon. Or it wasn't a cartoon, it was, I don't know what it was. Okay. Let's see. New Zealand, hi Ben. Who won the debate tonight? Who was the master debater? I didn't watch any of it. All I know is Kamala Harris and pray for rain. I'm not going to vote for anybody over 90 years old. So Kamala Harris is the only one I can vote for. Let's see. Bugs think artificial lights are the moon. Pat Buchanan won. All right. Castro's not 90. You know who has a higher percentage of the vote, Castro or me? Neither one. Both 0%. Yeah. I'm going to vote for Castro. Terrible. Okay, my foolish fool. That's right. Well, what happened was most bugs, their favorite television show is The Honeymooners. They're always trying to go to the moon. Have you heard of Kriegspiel? Of course. Anyway, let's look at Morphy versus his uncle. RDEX510 subscribed again. I wanted to buy a blindfold today, but then I tried one on. I couldn't see myself wearing it. Yeah. Give up the king. No, it's clearly better to go up the queenside rook. Stockfish is wrong as usual. How do I get a Jewish girlfriend? Well, if you're on the internet, you're not going to get a girlfriend. You can imagine, though. How often do you cut your toenails? I'm a grandmaster. Other people cut my toenails. What's this guy talking about? Terrible. I see bugs trying to fly to the moon. I'm Dutch, so I don't vote because Bernie is not in Dutch politics. when I went to vote, when I was in Holland, I went to the Hottentotten and they said, we don't vote here. And then I said, but the koetsier poets the postkoets. And they said, that's not related to voting. And then I saw this animal running by, and the cat klipt the krullen van de trap. And they said, that's also not related to voting. And I said, that's all the Dutch I know. And they said, we'll let you vote if you tell us your name. And I said, Ik ben Ben. So I got to vote. My vote didn't count, but when I was in Belgium, before you guys were born, this part's actually true. The other stuff I said was all nonsense. When I was in Belgium, they voted in Amsterdam to stop cars in Amsterdam. No more cars. No driving in Amsterdam. And the people have spoken. They voted no more cars. But the vote didn't count because less than half the people voted. Then the vote doesn't count. Of the people who did vote, they voted to eliminate cars, but it didn't count. True story. Dutch is similar to German. Yeah, the Dutch and the Germans are like that, son. All right. What? Did they both win? Yeah. So White went 4-0. We have a tough chess club here. All right. No, they hate each other. Well, I mean, everybody hates the Germans, so that's not really fair. I mean, you know, yeah. You know why everybody hates the Germans? Because they're Nazi good. Nazi good. In fact, some would say Nazi bad. Yeah. All right. So when I was in the Netherlands, I was playing in a tournament. I'm going to say Groningen. Got to say something. Then we had the European breakfast. It was ass in the morning. And I'm sitting there. Oh, why am I awake? And Karen's been awake for hours probably. Anyway, so this was in 1990-ish. Might have been 1990. Might have been. I'm within a year. And, of course, at the table next to me, like over there, hello, these guys are speaking German, because they're German. So I walked over to their table, and I said, do you have to speak German so early in the morning? I'm trying to eat breakfast. And the guy said, we speak German because we know one day everyone will speak German. I thought that was pretty funny, so I said, carry on. Definitely evil. Disappointed in Hitler. Yeah. Yeah, in that tournament, I don't know if it was that one, but it was Groningen. In the last round, I couldn't win a prize as usual. And I played a German player, and he needed a draw for IM norm. And he was white, played about 10 moves in a raid. It was pretty boring. He offered me a draw, and I said 9. And he said, no, it's move 10. Anyway, then I eventually won. And then later in the bar, I was telling my Dutch friends, I told them the story, and they were like bored out of their mind. They didn't care. And then I said, and he was German. Then they were like, oh, and then they all bought me drinks. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Yeah, they don't like the Germans because they're human. So, yeah. In the Netherlands, World Soccer, yeah. Let's see. You, Botez, and Naka are all live right now. Pretty sure Naka's not live. Pretty sure it's a rerun. Yeah, Naka's not live. It's a rerun. Yeah. All right. But so Naka's doing a rerun. Yeah, he's not. Yeah. Where Naka is, it's like 3 a.m. He's in Paris, right? Gustafsson said, blah, blah, blah. Second-rated curler in Malaysia. Yeah. Okay, so Morphy played e4, e5, and they played some kind of Scotch gambit. So White already has pretty good compensation for the rook. The engine plays king f8, but it says bishop f8 is also good. Always play bishop f8. Yeah. And then d6 is okay. Black played okay the whole game except for the last move. This is a famous game, but actually Black's completely winning until the last move of the game. But it's still cool. Yeah. And now, actually, White's better here if he plays bishop takes f7 check. Okay, but Morphy was like, I think, 11 when this game was played. And then, actually, the engine likes White. And the idea is, if you take with a king, I have knight takes check, and your knight's defending your queen. So your king's going to be doing some running around. I think it's called the runaround Sioux attack. So bishop takes f7 would have been strong. It's funny because in the opera game, Morphy also missed bishop takes f7 check when he played knight c3. Okay, he played knight e5, which is a blunder. And Black took the queen, and White took, and Black made a terrible blunder here, which goes from winning to like slightly better. So King d8 just wins. He's up material, and there's no big deal. But he probably thought if he played King e7 that Morphy would take the queen. So if you play King d8, I take the queen with check. So you might as well play King e7 if he's going to take the queen. But Morphy didn't take the queen. Morphy played knight g6 check. And now the engine says like Black is slightly better, even though Black's up a queen and a rook. And of course, this was the 1840s, so we have to hang mate in 1. Otherwise, the game doesn't make any sense. King d8's the best move. Then we take with check. Then we take the rook and so forth. But he took the bishop and then checkmate. So that's pretty good game for an 11-year-old sacrificing his queen after spotting his opponent a rook and then mating him on move 13. Not a good way to treat your uncle. Yeah, not good. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. I've shown this game before. Yeah. I've never played f6 as Black. Never. Yeah.
Okay, everybody's gone.
What? Even Spencer?
Uh-huh.
He left early? He's fired.
He left early.
It's 9:55.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Why is it so hot in here? All right. It's like 95 Celsius or Kelvin, whichever is funnier. All right. So who do you think's better in this position?
Let's see. Well, White looks pretty good.
Who? Why is it good for White? He's down a queen and terrible. Down a queen and a piece.
Well, whose move is it?
Whose move is it when Black's in check? I'm going to say Black.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So if Black moves, then you get the queen back.
Ah, well, let's suggest a move for Black. Let's analyze. Tomato Cup subscribe, thank you. What do you suggest for Black?
Let's see. Guess I have to go king f6.
Can't move into check.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, is it mate?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is mate.
That was actually his uncle. Yeah. Morphy wins. Hooray for Morphy. Tomato Cup and Tomato Burger. Yeah. Now, you guys don't know this, and you won't believe me, because it sounds like I'm about to tell a joke.
Yeah.
But you know, because I think I've told you this several times. I've said it on stream, too, but they weren't listening. They were, like, stoned out of their mind. So, the Supreme Court had to rule in the late 1800s about whether tomato was a vegetable or a fruit. And they ruled incorrectly. Yeah. You know why they had to rule that? There were different tariffs on fruits and vegetables. So that would say how much the tariffs would be. And the ruling was wrong. So anyway, you can look it up. Yeah. Also, on one Wikipedia article I read, it said like tomato is a fruit described. What's the word I'm thinking of? It's a fruit that's pretending to be a vegetable. Not pretending. What's the word I'm thinking of? When you're imitating something else, you're
Impersonating?
impersonating a vegetable? Yeah, I don't know. I don't speak English. Masquerading? Maybe. Disguised. Disguised was the word. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, you can look that up. Supreme Court ruling on whether tomatoes a fruit or a vegetable. You'll learn a lot then. Also, I got to learn the word disguised. Yeah, disguised is the word. Yeah. I like masquerading, though. Yeah. Tomato is biologically a fruit, but gastronomical, which is misspelled, a vegetable. Also, it's a made-up word. Yeah, it's a Supreme Court case. Yeah. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, you have to decide. The Supreme Court has very important work to do. So, yeah. Knowledge is knowing tomatoes a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. So on the internets, I was reading yesterday on Twitter, some, racist woman was complaining. I assume she's racist. She complained that somebody was walking down the street eating a tomato. And she was furious. So she's like, what's wrong with those people? And then somebody that I follow said, like, that's like the best thing you can do is like eat a tomato. Like, what's wrong with you? So there you go. A lawyer got hired to argue tomatoes a vegetable. That's right. Yeah. Why are half the Democratic candidates centrists? I don't know. Why is our president an idiot? I don't know. See, it's good that Trump's the president because when I was a kid, I was told anybody could grow up to be president, and I didn't believe it, but now I do. So that was good. I'd like a tomato right now. Have you ever? Who cares if they're fruits or vegetables? If there's tariffs, then the people who pay the tariffs do, and the customers. Did you ever eat a tomato? Yeah, yeah, great, right? Yeah, all right. Now I can't have tomatoes because I'm a vegan, and I can't have beefsteak. Confusing the audience. Hey, this guy said he prefers tobacco. Which cartoon is he quoting? So many cartoons. Simpsons. Yeah, they had to grow. Oh, wait a minute. Now I'm thinking it's Family Guy. It's definitely Family Guy. This is where they became meth dealers. So Family Guy moved to a farm, and they were growing tomatoes. And then there was tobacco. I'm starting to think it's The Simpsons. And then, like, the animals got addicted to it because it had, so they killed. Anyway, then they didn't have any money. They couldn't grow anything. So they started selling meth because there was a meth lab in the basement. Yeah, that was a funny episode. Was it Simpsons? What am I thinking of? Am I mixing The Simpsons and the Family Guy episode where they have tobacco, tomatoes, and they're meth dealers? Probably. I am? Cool. Yeah, so it was The Simpsons. I'm mixing two different shows. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they wanted that tobacco. That was, they didn't really want tomatoes before they had tobacco in it. Then they wanted it. Yeah. Anyway, I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Wait, what did? They couldn't grow anything on the Family Guy farm. That's when they started doing meth, right? They tried to grow stuff and they couldn't. And then Brian went off to college to learn how to do it. Then when he came back, they're all just selling meth. So, yeah. Well, obviously, Meth Lab isn't going to be on Simpsons. So, yeah. Mixed up 3 shows now. No. Marvel hired lawyers to argue for the Supreme Court that X-Men are actually not human. If they were human, then action figures would be dolls, and those have a higher tariff. So Marvel's lawyers don't think mutants are human beings, even though that's the entire comic. That's from Trying to Learn. It's hard to tell what's truth and what's they're kidding. It's hard to tell. Sounds like it's true. Yeah. Would you beat Morphy if you went back in time to the 1600s? Well, no, because Morphy wasn't alive in the 1600s. Or does it say 1800s and I can't read? That says 1600s. I'm thinking of Breaking Bad. That's true. Yeah. Man, in 1600, I'd show Morphy. I'd be like, you're not even alive yet, bitch. Okay. That's what, what's her name? From Sunny? Artemis would say. Yeah. You're not alive, bitch. Okay. Good enough stuff. All right. Now we'll look at a game where Morphy was black. And I've lectured on this game too. Then we'll get to games I haven't lectured on. Right, sweetie? Karen's here, but she's not coming on the stream. Count on the stream?
Oh, yeah.
I know.
But I have to go to the bathroom, so you got.
What? You went to the bathroom yesterday.
Well, actually, it's part of the drive.
I could beat Morphy if I went back to 1842. Why, was he 2 then? Sweet D, that's correct. Yeah, that's when she was Desert Rose. That's my second favorite episode. My favorite is, the Wrestling for the Troops. My favorite episode is The Nightman Cometh. Then Wrestling for the Troops. See, I'm a big fan of Rickety Cricket. So any episode with Rickety Cricket's going way up there. Rickety Cricket really stole the end of that. When he hit D with a chair, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, also he was a good wrestler. What a good show. Historians argue if Paul Morphy was black. There's some evidence he was mixed race. Desert Rose is amazing. Correct. How do you register for FIDE? You don't register for FIDE. FIDE is an organization of countries. So if you live in the U.S., then and you're a USCF member and you get a FIDE rating, then that's you don't do anything. Yeah. Is there anything Morphy invented and or discovered that is still used today? Well, he had the idea of getting all your pieces out and attacking instead of just using one. So that idea was good. Yeah. Gas Crisis is good. That's a good episode. I like the episode where they're flipping houses and Dee's trying to rent out her womb. That's a good episode. I mean, they're all good. I not really like the episode where they moved to the suburbs. I'm not a big fan of that episode. Right, sweetie? Where they go to the suburbs and then Charlie and Mac live in the suburbs.
Yeah, that was not good.
That wasn't a good... Well, I wouldn't say it's no good. It just wasn't a great episode. That's the best episode. That's what they said. I'm not sure which one's the best. I mean, The Nightman Cometh. How's anything better than that? How? I mean, them sing. I mean, you can't beat that. Yeah. Are there any notable pre-1800? I don't know, Napoleon. Yeah. Dennis and Mac live in the suburbs. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that episode. Oh yeah, the McPoyle wedding. Yeah, actually, I like I like the one where they're in court. That's a great episode where they're in court. Against them. That's good. Actually, there's another good one where they're in court where they're explaining how they had tickets to the Super Bowl, but like things didn't work out, and then he pushed them in front of a car, and then they were fumigating his apartment. And that's where the tickets were. That's a great episode too.
I don't remember that one.
That's a good episode. Yeah. Yeah. Wade Boggs, where they're drinking on the airplane, that was all right. I'm not a big fan of the airplane one. It's good, but I'm not, yeah. Yeah, the Nightman, yeah, karate, yeah, that's master. And also, I didn't realize this because I don't pay attention as much as Spencer does, but in The Nightman Cometh, some of the song, well, there's another one. It's a different bug. Some of the song was actually sung and talked about in an earlier season. That song was already known. Yeah. That's right. Bird Law. Yeah, McPoyle Wedding is pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we all agree that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is great. There's a new movie coming out soon. Danny DeVito's in it. In the movie theater. Soon. Okay. So Morphy's black. And Morphy's black against the King's Gambit. Are you shocked and appalled or just shocked? Yeah. So you can see I don't get a lot of donations, so thanks, R.A. Kelly. Good job. Okay, and then Morphy played the most testing move, which is G5, hanging onto the pawn. Okay, now White made a move that doesn't make any sense. Usually, even before Bishop C4, White plays H4 and tries to do stuff over here. But instead, he Bishop C4, D3. You can't play D3 in the King's Gambit. You kidding me? Maybe he's kidding. All right. So this is already just terrible for White. White's probably already losing. C3. B5 is a very strange move, but Morphy likes to get the initiative. He's already up a pawn, so he's basically playing a nonsensical Evans Gambit in reverse. Now, let's see if Karen wants to win $1 million. Would you like to? Okay, the streamers will give you, the people watching will give you $1 million if you answer the following question right.
All right.
The Evans Gambit was named after whom?
I don't know. Somebody named Evan.
No.
All right. I don't know.
Yeah, Captain William Evans, the ship captain, sailed around the world. Okay, so anyway, B5, not to be confused with Larry Evans. You didn't confuse him, did you?
No.
Good, okay. Captain Larry Evans, that's a good joke. Okay, so he took, obviously, and then he played an Evans Gambit style. Okay, Queen E2 check makes no sense. D4 is probably not good because it gives away E4. That donation is probably $3, so I'll ignore it. Oh, JAA928 donated $9.99. 94 F5. Look at all that. You ever see anything like that? That's pandemonium, isn't it? Right? You can't bear that joke.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so that's pretty good. That's, got a good outpost there. Okay, knight D2. Man, Morphy's all over him. Good pawn sack. Okay, C4 is the worst move in chess history. It's also explosive. Now here, resigning is a good idea. The engine plays knight E1. Okay, C4. Now, this is something I talk about when I teach private lessons. I'm not going to say anything now because I don't teach anymore. All right, joke's over. When people make moves in chess, especially what's his name? Ken West. Ken West is the expert on undefending things that were defended. He told me he was. So when something's defended and it's not attacked, you don't worry about it. For example, this pawn on D4, which is protected by the pawn on C3, unless you move the pawn on C3. So C4 is just an awful move because it hangs the D4 pawn. It's ridiculous, frankly. Now, if I was black, I would play knight takes D4. Morphy played bishop D4, which the computer likes better. Okay, that's pretty good. Queen D3. And weaker players like to trade pieces, but good players like to keep their good pieces. So Morphy played Queen B6. So it's funny, when Morphy was white, he would sacrifice material and get a big attack. In this game, he's black, and white sacrificed to pawn on move 2, and Morphy still has the big attack. Man, truth hurts. Okay, now you got to put it in H, because this isn't good. King H1. Takes. Now we can see a smothered mate. After King G1, Karen, how would black deliver smothered mate? And I can tell you from last night, Karen knows smothered mate.
Knight H3.
Knight H3. Then king goes back to H1.
Mm-hmm.
Then what?
Queen G1.
That's my smothered mate girl. All right. Mm-hmm. So he took the knight. Oh, wait, it says he got smothered mated. Oh, I just thought he took the knight and lost that way. All right. Well, he actually got smothered mated. All right.
Oh,
Ridiculous. Yeah. That actually happened? I guess so. Ken West, C4, Morphy. No C4 emotes? What do you mean? Right here. Bam. Who invented the smothered mate? I mean, probably Karen. Yeah. Never resign, etc. Yeah.
I can't say that.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
I knew not talked. I can't see the chat.
You can't see the chat? Oh, I can move it on over. George Thorogood style. How's that? Okay. Even worse?
That's fine.
All right. He was one of the Smothers brothers. I said Smothers brothers. Greco invented checkers. Oh, worst chat ever. Okay. Now, while I pull the next game up, you guys can give a donation. Now, this game I haven't seen. Smashing Gnomes. I wonder if he plays for the Norwegian Gnomes. Gave a subscription. Thank you. So this game, Morphy was white, so we'll flip the board, and he was playing Doofus. Now this game was really interesting. I haven't seen this game before today. 28,000 followers. Yay. 293 gawking rabblers in chat. Gawking rabblers, I like that. Good job trying to learn. Okay, so let's look at the game. Morphy played the Evans Gambit again, even though he didn't play it yet. Bam! Is that your favorite opening? All right. Takes D4. This is like theory now. Man, this is the way they play it now. Okay, now Morphy made a move I don't know about, but the engine says it's the right move. So I don't know. Maybe this is just theory. He played D5. Now, the idea is obvious. And the reason I don't know this move, and I realize now why. You're supposed to play queen to D7. Kirkland, D, J, G, G, J. Thank you. Okay, then let me explain this to you. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. So frankly, we're threatening the F7 pawn. You agree. So queen E7 looks better than queen D7. Queen D7 looks weird. But the idea is, when I attack your knight and you move your knight away somewhere, right? I play queen B5 check, winning your bishop. Okay. Well, if you play queen D7, now you can't play queen B5 check, winning the bishop. Okay, that's the idea. So grandmasters today, if they had this position, would play queen to D7. That's the engine move. Okay, now after D5, his opponent confused the audience with knight D4. Confused? No. See, it's pinned? Okay. So Morphy played bishop B5 check, which is a very strange move. The engine just takes it. And the idea is, if the guy takes, Morphy takes with check and wins the bishop again. So the guy doesn't take. And now they start taking each other's pieces. Check. Okay. Now this game makes no sense. White's king's running around. Queen side's not developed. White is threatening rook E1, winning the queen. And he's threatening pawn takes, discovered, triple, quadruple. Let's check with a twist. Okay. Now, this position, black is winning. Black has one winning move. Not Morphy's opponent's forte. Their forte was blundering and losing. They were good at it. Gotta do what you're good at. So in this position, I gave you a hint. I said white's threatening this, and white's threatening this. Okay? Mm-hmm. There's a move that stops them both. It stops the pin, and it stops the discovered check. What is it?
Can't you just check with the bishop?
He did. That's a bad move.
Oh.
Yeah, then white's better. He should play king F8. Now rook here doesn't win the queen, and pawn takes isn't check. And the engine says black's winning. But he played like you. Bishop G4 check. Looks good, right? Never play F3. Takes, king moves. Now you can't take my rook because I'm doing this discovered double, triple check, right? So he checks him again. And then he takes this with check. And then he castles, confusing the audience. Didn't see that happening. Yeah, and now white's easily winning because white's up a piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Now he sacrifices a piece with rook B1. The idea is if you take the piece and I play king A1 or king C2, I'm pinning your queen. So he doesn't take it. And then Morphy says, no, you're going to take it. And Morphy's move isn't the best, but it's the funniest. Bam! Black has one move. He has to take it. Yeah. Then he plays discovered check. How do you save your queen and save your king? Only one move. King c7. Check. Takes, threatening rook b8 checkmate. So he played knight d7. And then the very simple bishop d2, the engine move, with the idea of rook here. Now that's an attack. And here black resigned. The engine announces mate. The idea is I'm going to pin your queen. And if you play knight c5 to block my rook, then this is mate. The knight needs to defend b8. So your knight can't stop the pin and defend the mate. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So black resigned. That was a pretty cool game because Morphy's king ran away to a1 and black castled queenside. Not something you'd see a lot, well, even now. That was crazy. Now, somebody asked, why didn't white play queen a4 check? Okay, so I guess that would be here? Yeah, I think he meant here. Yeah. After queen a4, which is possible, I would block. I could play bishop d7 or queen d7. And I assume the reason the guy was asking was he wanted to take this free bishop. But then I could fork your king and rook. And the engine actually says this is about equal. Because the knight's trapped and black's already up a pawn. So that's possible. It's not even necessarily worse than what Morphy did. But that's better. Yeah. No, Morphy never castled and never played more than 20 moves. Well, okay, maybe he did. Yeah. All right, this guy asked a long, complicated question I don't understand, so we'll skip that. All right, we have 312 viewers. For some reason, Goldust Tory, who had 1,100 viewers, 1,200 viewers, now has 500. Terrible. And I have slightly more than Botez, just slightly. I thought only Botez's sister streams now. Now she streams. All right. Morphy invented Bitcoin and then time traveled. What? I was going to show you a game Morphy lost. Fact, I did show you a game Morphy lost. It was the first game. It was Alonso Morphy losing to Paul. Yeah. Now, Paul Morphy never lost. Okay, now here's the last game. This is against everybody's favorite player, NN. Okay, no name. NN. Good old NN. And Morphy, as per usual, spotted him a rook. He's like, you're NN, so I give you rook odds. He's more of a queen odds player. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Botez is the Chessbra house. They have a house? All right. So Morphy played e4. Now, e4 must be a bad move because the engine says black's winning. You know why the engine says black's winning? Do you know why?
Because they have an extra rook.
That's correct. Or as Christian Kurler would say, an extra rook. Right? You know what his favorite song is, right? The rook, the rook, the rook is on fire. You ever heard that song? And I was asking Kurilla, why do you think these pieces are worth so much? What about other pieces? Don't you understand the value of the pieces? And he said he had Christian values. And I was like, all right. I need a smarter audience. Okay. Guy's laughing, like pretending he got a ha ha ha. You know, hope. Yeah. All right.
Somebody said I wasn't much of a talker.
Exactly. The way you say Kurilla is so bad as well. No, that's how he says his name. Yeah, I know Christian Kurilla. He's a Christian values. Isn't Rosen at the Chessbra house too? Why is it the Chessbra house? Why isn't it the Botez Rosen house and the Chessbras are staying there? Did you ever think of that? Huh.
So is trying to learn implying that there's a romance going on?
What you mean between Eric and Eric? Probably. Well, I think Eric and Eric's more likely than...
Botez and I am Eric Rosen,
no, I don't.
of course.
No, I would think Eric and Eric is much more likely. Okay, I mean, they're the Erics. Now, they were going to get married, but they had an issue. They're talking to the preacher, and he's like, well, what am I supposed to say? Is you, Eric, take Eric? And they didn't know what to do. So it was terrible. Yeah. This guy just said Botez and Rosen are an item, just because yeah, it's much more likely Rosen
And then
and what's Eric's last name? The other Eric.
Hansen?
Yeah, Hansen and Rosen's much more likely than Botez and Rosen. What? Yeah, you kidding me?
What's wrong with Rosen?
Nothing wrong with Rosen. Yeah.
He's the dark horse.
Yeah. Also, nobody says which Botez it is or which Eric. There are two Botezes and there's two Erics. Okay, and there's only one man in that house. That's Hamilton because he's a man. All right, Karen got it. Yeah. All right. Emerges on a chessboard. Right. Which Botez, which Eric? Okay. More handsome than Rosen? I don't think so. Who's more handsome than Rosen? Nobody. That's who.
Let's
Brad
see.
Pitt.
He was more handsome and higher rated.
Well, higher rated. That's everybody, but more handsome. And Rosen won Arena Kings. That's the best she can do.
Yeah, and he's a nice guy.
Steven 8686 was kicked off my stream because he was 86th. Thanks for the subscription. Well, first of all, aren't they Canadian? So isn't and also now that Trump is president, isn't like 9 years old legal now? Because Trump, by executive order? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a Trumpism. Yeah. Starbucks refresher can better than cup. Incorrect. Andrea has a thing for Hansen. I don't know who Andrea is. They live in Portland, Oregon. No, but they're Canadian. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Vegan drink you like at Starbucks? You mean this one? It's the dragon drink. All right. Yeah, they're all Canadian, so anything goes. All right, because they can get good prescription drugs and we can't. All right. Anyway, back to Morphy NN. Okay. Now, I actually did talk to Botez a few days ago and asked her who she was dating, and she said NN. So maybe it was this guy. His experience, he's played Morphy. All right. Now, Botez doesn't like NN as much as a lot of guys because Botez likes to hang her queen, and NN's only up a rook. So that's not really your kind of guy. Okay. So in this game, is this the same game? No. He plays the Evans Gambit again. Now, I don't want to get technical, or do I? It's not an Evans Gambit. You know why it's not an Evans Gambit? It's very technical because there's no rook there. So it's nothing. There's no opening because there's no rook. All right. I wish I lived in Portland. Yeah, but you mean Portland, Maine. So, yeah. Frankly, mainly, what do I think about Harden-Westbrook combo? I don't really think about it that often. Now, let's have Karen get $1 million again if she's right. They have to give you $1 million if you're right. Okay, Harden and Westbrook, basketball players, right? What team do they play for?
Basketball's all I've got.
Yeah. You get a basketball team might be right.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, I know you don't know. You can make a basketball team.
The Celtics.
Yeah, that's a good guess. The Houston Rockets.
Okay.
And
I almost said the Houston Astros.
Well, that's
a different sport.
Close. Yeah. Right. That's baseball. And so Westbrook played for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and he just got traded to Houston. Now, for another $1 million,
Okay.
the Oklahoma City Thunder is a pretty recent team. They played in another city with another name years ago. You've heard of that team. That team doesn't exist anymore. And now they're the Oklahoma City Thunder. What team is that?
I mean, I have no... This is still basketball?
Yeah. Talking about the same guy. Yeah. The Seattle Supersonics. You heard of them?
Oh, no.
You've never heard of the Seattle Supersonics?
No.
Oh. The Seattle Supersonics don't exist anymore. They're the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's not a joke. It sounds like a joke, right?
No, I mean, it's just... I don't know.
You never heard of the Seattle Supersonics?
No.
What about Sean Kemp? Come on. All right.
Why do I care about him?
I was kidding. When I was in Seattle for the U.S. Championship, the Seattle Supersonics existed. Where did they play for $1 million?
Seattle?
Yeah, but what's the name of the arena? Key Arena. Can't beat that.
Key? I wasn't ever going to get it.
Yeah, I know. Sean Kemp was a good basketball player. Now he's 1 million pounds. If I showed you pictures, you'd be like, that guy's an athlete? He was like 800. Yeah.
Bigger or smaller than the woman
No, that one was always bigger than that woman.
in North Carolina?
Yeah, I know which one you meant. So there's a director who we won't mention, and he's slightly overweight. And he was directing a tournament we went to, and our friend was telling us how big the director was. And we were like, we were at this place last night, and there's just a woman standing outside, random, and she was like 50 people. And then he was like, oh, I'm sure that my director is bigger. So we're like, all right. So the next time we saw his director, we were just on the floor laughing because the woman we saw was like 10 of him. So I don't understand how she got outside or how she was born. The woman who was at the dessert place. That was funny. It was a dessert place. That's the funny part. It was almost.
No, she was out in front of the Bernie Sanders.
Well, yeah. But I mean, it was, obviously the dessert place.
No.
But it was there, it was same strip mall. Yeah. Anyway, the truth hurts. Yeah, when people weigh more than 700 pounds, I'm slightly confused. Because nobody eats more than me. So how do they weigh like 3 times what I weigh? Like, what are they doing? I don't believe it. Okay. Yeah, no, I've seen people that, pretty big. Yeah. ESPN, blah, 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 Kemp. Kemp's really big. Here, let's show you Kemp. Let me show you. I can't even believe what happened to him. I can't get, my mouse doesn't work. Where's my mouse? Sean Kemp ain't my mouse.
Yeah.
All right, Sean Kemp, professional athlete. See, look, he looks like an athlete, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, is there one of him today just playing basketball? Aw, there's just him playing basketball. There's not where he's like a monster. What happened to him? Why does he look like that?
He looks fine there.
Yeah, he looks okay, but he's big. Yeah, they only have basketball pics. He was a good Sean Kemp. It's tough. Yeah, I don't see any. Well, wait a minute.
There are no bad pictures out there. They can't be that bad. There should be at least one picture.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's the smallest. Somebody back me up in the chat. Where'd he go? You know who is big, but they're not big anymore because they're dead. Because they were big. The guy who beat Tyson. All right? Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas.
Your search terms were bad.
Well, yeah, I could.
Somebody
yeah, right.
says Google fat.
Yeah. So Buster Douglas, this guy, he beat Tyson. Then he got to over 400 pounds. Then he died. Aw.
He doesn't look 400.
Yeah. Right. He got to 400 though.
Oh, okay. He's big there.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
By the way, the guy who's the heavyweight champion now, he's big. Ruiz.
Yeah.
They were talking about whether he said he's going to lose weight, and they said he won't be champion if he loses weight. So terrible. All right, let's see. Sean Kemp, big. There we go. That didn't help. No. Hold on. No. How's that? Nah, that didn't work.
Just put fat.
Sean Kemp fat? Sean Kemp fat. He's pretty big there. That's not Sean Kemp. That didn't help at all. Whoa. Oh, that's actually Magic Johnson. Is anybody fatter than Shaq?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think maybe he's just not fat.
What? How could you? All right, back to whatever I was doing. Blah, blah, blah. You have to Google, I missed Morphy analysis. Trying to watch the debates. He said, this is a pretty good chess lecture. I agree. Yeah, Buster Douglas is not alive. No. He's dead. This guy says he's alive. Wait a minute. There's no way he's alive. He better be dead or I'm going to look bad on the stream. It says he's alive. What? I'm sure he's dead. How could he be alive? He's alive. But I thought he died. Where? It says he died but came back to life because of Paul Morphy. What? All right. I thought he was dead. Yeah, maybe that was an alternate universe I was in. All right. Careful if he dies. That is a funny story. Barbara Billingsley, your favorite actress, who did she play?
Was she the mom on Leave It to Beaver?
Yeah, June Cleaver.
Yeah.
We were walking around a store, me, my mom, and my brother, and not Spencer, maybe Hiram. And I was like, Barbara Billingsley, because I was talking about something, and then she died that night. So now you better watch it. Yeah. Also, I went to Detroit, and that guy killed himself, Chris Cornell, in Detroit. And then when I went to Detroit, Aretha Franklin died. So next time I go to Detroit, better watch it. All right. So bishop takes b4, recommended by Sean Kemp and Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas is alive? Man. Now, but seriously, let's get back on topic. What show is better than Mike Tyson Mysteries? No show. That's the answer to that. Let's see. Lois's voice. Don't you guys like Mike Tyson Mysteries? Come on. Yeah, that's a real show. You ever see Mike Tyson Mysteries? Breaking Bad? Better? Maybe. Breaking Bad might be better. Yeah. Yeah, Mike Tyson Mysteries is great.
There are a lot of shows that are
Mike Tyson
better.
Mysteries has Mike Tyson. Then it has his daughter, who's an Asian girl. And then they think she's a boy. And then they have a pigeon and a ghost. That's the team. They solve mysteries.
I've seen parts of it.
What a great show. Why doesn't blah, 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 blah? Oh. Okay, Glass Joe, based on Tyson. Very good. Yeah. Yeah, Norm Macdonald's a really good pigeon. I agree. What did I think when Tyson bit the ear? I mean, he was sort of lonely. He was chewing the guy's ear off. I mean, you got to find some friends. Yeah. All right.
I think Philly's Always Sunny is better.
You think Philly's Always Sunny? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was hot when we were there.
I think it's better than the Tyson show.
All right. This stream is great. Correct. The more you donate, the funnier looking I am. See, I cut my hair. Well, somebody did. Okay, so C3, then castles, D4. Okay, now in this position, black made a move I wouldn't recommend. This is what we call a weak player's move. Instead of developing his pieces and castling, he makes a random threat. Now, to be fair, black's name is NN, so he has his obligations. He's got to, he plays knight A5. That's not a good square for the knight. Okay, bishop G4. Morphy's developing slowly but surely. Queen F6 is a really bad move. The only thing worse than Queen F6 is the size of this donation. $10. It was only the wind. I mean, it's not as good as $9.99. But now this guy, I was talking to him yesterday, and he didn't want anybody to hear what he was saying. So what did he whisper to me? Mary.
Oh.
All right.
I wasn't going to get that.
Yeah, but you understood immediately when I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. All right. What kind of parent names their child NN? Actually, it's a common name. The first to do it was ZZ Top. The ZZ and NN. Yeah. Okay. Back to whatever I was doing. Queen F6. Boo! Now, the engine says black's winning because black's up a rook. So, all right. So, Morphy played knight D5, and then he retreated like a Frenchman. Maybe he was a French NN. H3. And then he gave up the two bishops. The engine agrees. I wouldn't do that. Okay, now he made a very bad move, although the engine says it's the best move. How can this be the best move when it's so bad? There must be a tactic that I'm missing. He played knight F6, and Morphy played the obvious bishop G5. Oh. Okay. Yeah, this is actually very complicated. You watching? Mm-hmm. This is getting complicated. It looks like white's winning. Rawr. But black can defend his knight. So it's defended twice. You agree. Mm-hmm. It's attacked 3 times. How can black defend his knight again?
Because bishop takes D4.
That's what he did. Okay, and now you're sitting down? Morphy plays a move that is every tactic you've ever seen. Are you scared? Mm-hmm. E5. And when Morphy played e5, I immediately thought of the famous Spassky quote. They said, Spassky, if you played Morphy, what would you do? And what did he say? I'd offer a draw. Man, e5 is annoying. Black only has one move that makes any sense.
D
With-
takes.
No, d takes blocks the bishop.
Oh.
Then you're not defending this anymore. So bishop takes.
Oh, okay.
Then he played rook e1, pitting the bishop. Twitchy gave a sub to Kunst. Pretty German. All right, and now he made the losing move. The best move is king f8, but he castled. Okay, and now the engine says it's about equal, which means white's winning, because white's down like 7 pieces. Okay, now, since this is my stream, and Morphy knew that I would stream at some point, what did Morphy play? Don't even need to look at the position. What do you do on my stream?
What exactly?
Yeah.
D takes.
Now the bishop's not defending the knight because there's no bishop. So e5, rook e1, that's genius. Twitchy gifted this up to Jay Chosen. He's the chosen one. Man, look at that. You see these pieces? And this is Morphy. This is the guy that like, oh, Carlson's better than Morphy because I've never heard of Paul Morphy. And my friend said Carlson's better. And I have a funny voice. Now the engine says it's equal by black sacrificing his queen. Okay, but he played this. Takes, here, and he resigned. I'm threatening checkmate. Actually, that's just mate. That's mate. That's mate. This is a queen. Then this would be mate, and this is mate. So he resigned. Instead of resigning, he could have played queen takes, and white's like barely winning here. It's like plus 1.7. Right. But he's NN. He knew his place. He's like, okay, I resign. Because he's getting crushed. Yeah. So Morphy would not only, if you remember, but he started without a rook this game. Yeah. Not only would he start without pieces, then he would give the rest of his pieces away. He didn't need that. He would just attack the king. Morphy, who doesn't need Luft, has it anyway. Yeah, very good. Morphy beat whoever he was playing. If you don't like his opponents, don't blame me. Yeah. Now, you guys are making fun of Morphy because, your ignorance is inefficacious. So, there's a guy you've heard of named Wilhelm Steinitz. Have they heard of him? Yeah. Steinitz was world champion for plus or minus 28 years, although he was a suspicious player himself. I wouldn't call Steinitz 1400, especially after his game with von Barteleben. From what tournament?
Hastings.
Right. And what's the most famous thing that ever happened in Hastings?
The Battle of Hastings.
No, my first
wedding.
marriage. Right. And what year was the Battle of Hastings?
I don't remember.
1066. And who won? William the Conqueror. Yeah, good name for a winner. Okay. Now, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Now, Steinitz never played Morphy because I said so. However, they had an opponent in common who was a very strong player. Can you name him? They both played him more than 20 times. They had one opponent in common. They played all the time.
When Steinitz.
So he played Steinitz. You might not have heard of him. Then you can't name him. I think you've heard of him. I'm not sure.
Is he not well known?
I mean, the people in the chat are typing his name now, I assume.
I don't know.
Yep. Adolf Anderson. No?
Okay.
Yeah?
I've heard of him.
Okay. Adolf Anderson got beat like a drum by Morphy. You can go to the internet, go to your database, find all the Morphy Anderson games, and tell me the score. 551, Rar from Paris. You think that's €5? It's probably €3. Thanks for the donation from Paris. Oui, oui. Now, if you want to say yes in French, you say oui, oui. Oh my God, you got to be kidding. I'll be back in a minute. I got to go take a wicked yes. So, yeah, j'ai habité en Belgique pour 4 ans. Merci. Let's see, what was I saying? Should I do the rest in French? Cavalier, c'est fou. Perrier. Oh, wait, Perrier, c'est fou. Cavalier, c'est Vitel. All right, so, and I'm no joker. Morphy's record against Anderson was he beat him to death. Right? Okay. Anderson had a plus score against Steinitz. When Anderson played Steinitz, Anderson had more points than Steinitz. When he played Morphy, Morphy won like every game, like 18-1 or something. So that's how good your 1400 is. Oh. Monty Python's The Holy Grail. Does Karen's enthusiasm for chess make you a better player? You mean you? Look at this guy's handle.
Hastings 1895.
Yeah. Now, let's ask Karen a question. If she gets it right, you give her $1 million again. So far, they've saved all their money. Ready? Ready?
Yeah.
Who won Hastings 1895?
The Battle of Hastings.
No, the chess tournament.
The chess tournament.
Yeah, Hastings, that's 1066 was the battle. Hastings 1895. Who won the tournament?
I don't know.
Correct. Well, she's right.
What do you mean?
You don't know. You're right. I'll give you a hint.
Morphy.
He takes the cake. Morphy wasn't alive, so he couldn't win.
I don't know.
Let's see if the chat knows. Yay, the Pillsbury Doughboy. Pillsbury. Harry Nelson Pillsbury, your favorite player.
I've heard of Pillsbury.
Yeah, I think we have a picture of him.
Did,
I think there's a picture of him in a tournament
a
room.
great player.
Analyzing with Lasker and who else? Taresh? Maybe. Maybe even Capablanca in Soviet Russia. Except it wasn't Soviet. Codex A is correct. The Pillsbury Doughboy. Well, I mean, sort of. Somebody said Doughboy before him. Yeah. A Michigan player who's rated like 1,500 wrote a book on Pillsbury. Yeah. We could sell that book here. Well, we don't. Should.
Who?
His name is Nick Pope.
Okay.
He's a 1,500 player. What nationality is Boyd? Actually, her brother pitches for the Tigers. They don't know that it's not your brother, so don't say nothing. What nationality is Boyd? I mean, from Alabama, right? So is that nationality?
I don't know if they mean like ancestry.
I played a guy named Boyd once, and he was from Canada. I think, did he beat me? It was in 1988. Somebody find that game from the World Chess Festival. I think it was 88. I think I lost. Damn. How's the summer weather treating you? It's hot. Oil Can Boyd. I forgot about Oil Can Boyd. Yeah, Oil Can Boyd was great.
What does that mean?
That's his name. Benz, you watch snooker? I watched snooker when I lived in Belgium. So I remember Steve White, Jimmy Davis, maybe? Is that his name, Jimmy Davis? Or I made that up. Steve Davis and Jimmy White. I mixed their names up. Yeah. Steve Davis was great. Then I guess Stephen Hendry's good, unless I made that up. I played snooker too, but I was in Belgium, obviously. Belgians are good at 3-cushion billiards. That's your favorite.
What is it?
It's a pool table, but there's no holes. There's no pockets. So there's 3 balls. You hit ball 1, then the cue ball travels at least 2 or 3 rails, hits the other ball. Then that's 1. That's really fun.
That sounds hard.
Yeah. And if you saw the Hustler, and we have a pool table in our basement, in our mansion, and we have a poster of the Hustler next to our pool table.
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't a lie. This is the truth. Okay. And then in the movie The Hustler, one of the first hustles that they do once George C. Scott signs up Paul Newman, they go to the Kentucky Derby. They go to this guy's house. They go to he's at a party. They go to his basement. They're going to play pool for money. And then they take the cover off the pool table, like our cover that's on the couch. Mm-hmm. And there's no pockets. And they're like, what? He says, I play billiards. And they're like, what? So George C. Scott wants to leave. And Paul Newman's like, oh, I can beat him. He says, you ever played this before? Yeah, it's balls. It's a table. I can win. That's a funny scene in the movie. So the guy's crushing him. And Paul Newman's crying and complaining. And eventually Paul Newman wins. Wins like $12,000. And like in the 60s, that was a lot of money. Now it's a joke. But then, $12,000 then was, like a reasonable amount of money. It's not fun. Correct. Let's see. Here it is, Stephen Boyd. I drew. Stephen Boyd. Yeah. I remember I played a Boyd once. That's the game here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I drew. Yay. Forgot that I drew. No. If you want to know about having 3 balls, like the guy said, do you want to know about that? I'll tell you how we can do it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll invite Lance Armstrong over. Then you could talk to me and Lance Armstrong. And there you go. Oh, snap. Scottish and Truth Hurts. The Hustler is great.
Spencer would love that joke.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, he just always used to do all these Lance Armstrong jokes.
Color Money's all right. It's not as good as The Hustler. Gotta go to sleep. Good night. Have a good Bishop, John. Thanks. The more you donate, the more you learn. I've only been streaming for like an hour and like 30 minutes. Come on. Let's see. Somebody type up. Let's see.
I'm tired myself.
You were tired yesterday.
I got a lot done today.
An hour and 25 minutes. This seems like a Taco Bell night. We got to go to the car dealer tomorrow. Got to wheel and deal. So Spencer printed out the thing. He was able to do that. You guys were trying to print something out?
Oh yeah, he got on the net. He got on the
Okay,
right.
yeah, we can get him a driver's license. All my jokes are landing. Karen, have a coffee. Kemp, big fat guy's church.
I don't believe he's fat.
Yeah, somebody tell her.
We didn't really find any pictures.
Yeah, but they
of
know.
He's fat.
Yeah. Terrible. Come on, somebody tell her. I can't believe that guy's alive. I'm sure he was dead. Not Steve Kemp, the other guy.
Now, what are you talking about?
Now, by the way, R.I.P. Harry Sabine. He was Tennessee chess for 30, 40 years, and he died yesterday. Go Harry Sabine. I knew Harry Sabine before you were born. And he was in his early 70s, and he just recently died. Buster Douglas is alive? How's that possible? Yeah. Kemp has 7 children with 8 women. That's actually funny. Yeah. The truth hurts. Also, that's less than the NBA average. So, yeah.
But we didn't find even one fat picture.
It says he deleted all his obese photos.
Hey, Jim.
Now, hold on.
Yeah, not even one. Oh, now he's going to go search again. But, I mean, you think it'd be at least one if he's really fat.
It's true. These pictures don't make any sense. Yeah. Oh, it's Sean. I typed in his name wrong. I'm the worst.
Well, that was why.
See, look. Yeah, he looks all right there. When Sean Kemp blew up, he got fat in the NBA, and that's why they kicked him out. Also, this guy, Gilbert, played for the Green Bay Packers, and they kicked him off because he was too fat. He's a football player. But he got over 400, and they're like, all right, you're out. Mm-hmm. Then he lost like 80 pounds and got back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. See, next to Shaq, he looks small. He's pretty big there. See, look, this I didn't make up this team, Seattle Supersonics, right? You thought I made them up. That's a big story about Kemp. He waddled his way to Portland. Yeah. Go Kemp.
So, I didn't even... Who won the debate tonight? Won their debate?
Yeah. Who won the debate? Did you guys watch?
I didn't see it. I was working.
Let's see. Who...
And they weren't all debating, right?
Just 10 of them.
Yeah. I haven't seen any debates. I'm just going to sweep in at the 11th hour and vote for
somebody.
Who's
Marianne.
Least bad.
Yeah. I didn't see it, so Tulsi. Nice. Key moments from the debate. All right. As long as Equifax gives us money, I don't care who won. All right. I watched some guy talk about Paul Morphy. I thought he went to bed. Biden lost.
That's what he did instead of watching the debate.
All right. Who's crazier, Marianne Williamson or Trump? Discuss.
Yeah. What was she talking about?
She's always talking about New Zealand and then ether. Yeah. She's always talking about how spiritual, and then you become the president.
She's not
Still
a
better.
credible
Still better than
candidate,
Biden.
is she?
No. Not Williamson. Williamson. What? Oh, not Williamson. Incorrect. Boris Johnson. He's pretty crazy. Yeah.
But nobody's as bad as who was that guy? I don't even remember his name. The pothead that was dumb, didn't know anything.
Sounds like everybody.
No, the guy.
He's running now?
No, last election. He was briefly incredible. Somebody help. Yeah, Gary Johnson. Thank you.
I don't
Terrible.
remember who that is.
See?
Is she describing me? I was like, I need more information. Did we just hire a guy like that? Yeah. What? Yeah. I'm meeting you hippies halfway. What the dormouse said. You see that Futurama? Yeah, that's,
No.
that's a good Futurama. Nixon's one of my favorite characters on Futurama.
Oh, yeah.
I'm meeting you stupid hippies halfway. Yeah. That's pretty good. Yeah. All right, who am I going to raid? Alexandra Boat says Gold Dust Tory or String Dog. Definitely not raiding Hikaru on our rerun. We'll let Karen decide.
Well, I don't know what they're doing right now. Ooh, so it's got to be one of the ladies.
Okay, raid.
Let's just go ahead and raid Gold Dust.
Gold Dust Tory. 2 T's in a row?
Because she's got less.
All right. Yeah, but she had 1,100.
Yeah, but it shrunk.
Well, sometimes there's shrinkage. Yeah. All right, guys. See you